Hi guys, welcome to day 3 of lesson 25. Today we are going to start off with our pink arrow, and our pink arrow says I can read 1 and 2 syllable words and I'm able to break them into syllables. I'm going to give you guys a word today and then you're going to clap it out and tell me how many syllables are in that word, okay? So the first one is contest. That one has 2 syllables, okay? So remember that's how we clap it out to figure out how many syllables are in the word. Okay, next one. Outside. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables. Next one is tallest. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables. Next one is happiest. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables. Okay, then we have downtown. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables in downtown. Then we have loudspeaker. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables in loudspeaker. And our last one, sunrise. Clap it out. Tell me how many syllables are in sunrise. Okay, then we're going to move on to our purple arrow. Our purple arrow says, I can tell how words are used in real life. Okay, so your real life words this week are blossoms, ledge, lugging, shady, shallow, and cavern. Would you put blossoms in a vase, on an oven, or a shoe? Where would you put blossoms? Would you put them in a vase, in an oven, or on a shoe? So think about that word blossoms for a minute and talk about that word with somebody sitting next to you. Where would you put blossoms? In a vase, on an oven, or in a shoe? Okay? And what does a rock ledge look like? So our second word we're going to talk about today is ledge. What does a rock ledge look like? Talk to someone sitting next to you about that word for a moment. Okay. And how would you feel after lugging a heavy stone to your garden? How would you feel after lugging a heavy stone to your garden? Okay, so again, these 3 words, blossoms, ledge, and lugging. First one, blossoms. Where would you put blossoms? Would you put them in a vase, on an oven, or in a shoe? And can you describe what a ledge would look like? What would a rock ledge look like? And our last one is lugging. How would you feel after lugging a heavy rock to your garden? Okay, and then today I need you to pick one of these words and use it in a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star sentence. Okay, don't forget to start with capital, end with a period, and put those finger spaces in between. Okay, so pick one of these words, preferably a word you did not use yesterday, and use it in a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star sentence. Okay, next up we are moving to that gray arrow. The gray arrow says, I can read first grade words that aren't spelt the way they sound. Okay, here are your words for today. By, myself, school, city. One more time. By, myself, school, city. Your turn. Think about it. Spell it. And say it again. Next one. Think about it. Spell it. And say it again. Next one. Spell it. Say it again. And our last one. Spell it. And say it again. Okay, on the next page, I'm going to put my finger to the side. When I zoom under, you tell me what my sight word is. Okay, here we go. Okay, if you need to, pause the video to practice those words so that you can read them as fast as my finger moved. Okay, next up, we are moving to that red arrow. The red arrow says, I can put sounds together to speak words. Remember, we've got 3 different sounds this week, okay, but 6 different spellings. So we've got our ow sound, that sound that you would make if I were to pinch you. We've got that OW saying ow, and you will find that at the beginning, middle, or end of a word. We've got the OU saying ow, which you'll find at the beginning or the middle. Then we've got our ah sound, that sound that you were to make if you go to the doctor and he wants to look into your throat and he says, say ah. Okay, so we've got AW saying ah, which you will find at the beginning, middle, or end of a word. And then we have AU saying ah, which you will find at the beginning or the middle of a word. And then we've got what I like to call that Frenchy sound, that oi sound, okay? So we've got OY saying oi, which you'll find at the beginning or the end. And then we have OI saying oi, which you will find at the beginning or the middle of a word. Okay, we're going to go through our sound cards for this week. And a little review with some from the last week's, okay? So card is boy, sound oi, spelling OY. Sound oi, spelling OI. Your turn, card. Sound, spelling, sound, spelling. Next one, our card is saw, spelling or sound ah, spelling AW. Sound ah, spelling AU. Your turn, card. Sound, spelling, sound, spelling. Next one, owl, sound ow, spelling OW. Sound ow, spelling OU. Your turn, card. Sound, spelling, sound, spelling. Next one is cook, sound spelling OO. Your turn, card. Sound, spelling. And our last card is our moon card. Sound oo, spelling OO. Sound oo, spelling EW. Sound oo, spelling UE. Sound oo, spelling OU. Sound oo, spelling U. Sound oo, spelling U, consonant E. Your turn, card. Sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling. Okay, on to our sound drill. I will do the line first and then you copy me. Here we go. Sound is oo or ow, oi, ah, o, or ow. Your turn. Sound, or, okay. Oi, ow, or oo, ah, s. Your turn. Or, okay. Oi, ah, o, or ow, oi. Your turn. Or, okay. Sh, s, oo, and o, or ow. Your turn. Or, perfect. Okay guys, next we're going to move to that black arrow. The black arrow says, I can read out loud like a teacher. And first we're going to do our sound by sound on our board. So follow along with my finger. We're going to start off with a two-letter blend. So think about what these two letters will stay together. Then we've got our pinching sound. Put it together. Sound. Put it together. And my word is sound. And we have our pinching sound. Put it together. My word is sound. Pinching sound. Put it together. Sound. Put it together. And the word is sound. Then we've got our Frenchy sound. Put it together. And CE are going to say, and my word is, one more time, sound, sound, put it together, sound, put it together, and my word is sound, sound, put it together, and then throwing an S on the end turns my word into, one more time, sound, sound, put it together, and then we've got a suffix on the end. Remember that suffix can say t, d, or id. So think about what sound it's going to say in this word. And my word is, okay, last one, sound, sound, put it together, sound, put it together, and then I'm going to throw that suffix on the end again. Okay, remember it can say id, t, or duh. So think about my whole word and what sound that's going to make at the end. Word is, one more time. Okay, again, pause the video if any of those gave you problems and practice those words before we move on. Okay, on my next page, I'm going to give you a list of words. Okay, as my finger's over to the side, I want you to sound those words in your head. When my finger goes under, you tell me what the word is. That OW sound is going to say the O sound, okay? So try that word again. Okay, again, pause the video if any of those gave you problems or you weren't quite sure what they are and practice them again. Next, I'm going to read you our story for today, which is called Dawn's Voice. And I know the title is kind of light, but it's called Dawn's Voice. Find this story in Think Central. I'm going to read it to you today and show you what it sounds like to be reading like a teacher, okay? And then you can either put this on pause and read it, or my recommendation is to go into Think Central, find it, you're going to read it 3 times. Read it once to yourself, then do a practice where you're reading it kind of where maybe you're sounding some words out. And then by your 3rd time, I want you reading it so that you read it like I'm reading it. Here we go. Dawn's voice. Dawn had a nice voice. Outside, her voice was loud. Inside, her voice was soft. At times, Dawn forgot which voice to use. If she forgot at home, Mom would say, "Use an inside voice, Dawn." If she forgot at school, Miss Law would whisper, "Too much noise. How can we read? Use an inside voice, Dawn." Last week, Dawn was at a school game. Her school's red team led the game. The yellow team was at bat. The batter swung and hit hard. Dawn shouted to Paul, "Look up, Paul, look up!" Dawn's loud voice filled the park. Would Paul hear it? Paul did hear it. He looked up and made the catch, and Dawn's team got the win. So her loud voice came in handy. With joy, Dawn joined the school party. Paul thanked Dawn. "My loud voice was just right," Dawn shouted. Then she said with her soft voice, "Just right." Okay, remember again, if you did not pause the video to read that just now, go into Think Central, find it, read Dawn's voice. Okay, Next up, we are going to move into our yellow arrow. So you're going to need yourself a piece of scratch paper and something to write with so that we can do our spelling words. Okay, here we go. So I can use sight words and spelling patterns to help me spell words correctly. And I'm going to pull out our sound cards that we are going to use for today. Okay, so we're going to use our oi sound, and it looks like our ah sound today in our words. Okay, all right, first word is coins. I have a bunch of coins. So my word is coins. Coins are money. Okay, so think about your beginning sound. This is your middle sound, and then your ending sound in coins. Okay, next one, we're going to use our ah card. The word is Sean. Sean is a name. Sean can be a boy's name. Okay, so my word is Sean. So since it's a name, think about how you're going to start it when you are writing it out. Okay, Sean. Sh. Ah. N. Sean. Think about your beginning sound. This is your middle sound and your ending sound in the word Sean. Okay, next one is haul. I'm going to haul a load of rocks. Haul. Okay, think about your beginning sound. This is your middle sound and your ending sound. Haul. I'm going to haul a load of rocks. Haul. Okay, and our last one is joined. She joined me outside for recess. Joined. Think about your beginning sound. This is your middle sound, your ending sound, and then you have a suffix, okay? Joined. She joined me outside for recess. Okay, so again, your words were coins, Sean, haul, and joined. Write those 4 words for me. And then we're going to move on into our final arrow for today, okay? Our final arrow says, I can understand the first grade text I have read. Okay, we are going to go back into our story, The New Friend. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time for you, but this time as I read it, since our story is fiction this week, or realistic fiction, remember it's a realistic fiction, because although we do not know a real boy named Mikado, things happen in the story that could happen in real life. Okay, so we're going to call it realistic fiction this week, okay? Because it has real things that happen. So in our story, The New Friend, Mikado, a boy, could really move to a new place, correct? And there's other things like you could paint a new house, you could unpack. All of those things are things that happen in real life. There's nothing in our story that happened that couldn't happen in real life. So we have a realistic fiction story. We are going to tell our beginning, our middle, and our ending of our story through pictures today. So grab yourself a piece of scratch paper, fold it into 3 sections, okay? So to remember to fold into 3 sections, you're going to fold your first chunk down a little bit, halfway, and then pull your bottom half up until it meets the top. Fold, and then unfold, okay? And then you're going to put your B in a box for your beginning, your M in your box for your middle, and your E in a box for your end. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to read your story. I'll read your beginning, then I will stop, and you're going to draw me a picture of what happened at the beginning of our story. Okay, here we go. The New Friend. Martin, Lewis, and I lived in the city. Next door was an old house. No one had lived there for a long time. One day a work crew came with pails and brushes. They started to wash and paint the empty house. So question for you before I continue reading. It says Martin, Lewis, and I lived in the city. Who's telling the story? So your narrator is the person telling your story. I want you to think about it. Whoever I is telling the story, because when you talk, you use the word I when you're talking about yourself. So who on that page is telling the story? Who is the narrator? After they were done and the paint had dried, the house looked pretty and new. The next day, a big truck pulled up. It was full of crates and boxes. A crew unloaded the boxes off the truck. A new family would soon live there. Today, Lewis went over to the house next door. He met a boy named Mikado. Then we all met Mikado. Mikado was 7 years old, just like us. Okay, So we know Mikado isn't telling the story because Mikado wouldn't be talking about himself using his name. And we know Lewis is not telling the story because Lewis wouldn't be using his name when he's talking about himself. So still thinking about who's talking, who's telling the story, who is the narrator of the story. Okay, I also want you to pause there for a second. Okay, and I want you to take your piece of paper and I want you to draw me a picture of what happened at the beginning of our story just now. What's something that happened at the beginning of our story? And pause me if you need more time to draw your picture, because I'm going to move on here to the middle. Okay, so draw what happened at the beginning of our story so far. Before long, we found out that Mikado played soccer. He could keep running and running. He was good at learning things too. He learned all of our names by the end of the game. Soon Mikado's family was all moved in. We met his mother and father. They were glad that Mikado had made some new friends. While Mikado's mother and father went to buy food, Mikado stayed and played with us. And when Mikado's mother and father rejoined us, Martin, Mikado, and I helped them carry the bags into the house. Mikado said he would show us around his house. Then he went up to look at Mikado's room. Mikado still had a lot of boxes to unpack. He had some nice toys and kites. He said that on the next windy day, we could bring his kites outside and fly them. He said I could fly a kite by myself. Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a sec. And now, after you drew what happened at the beginning of your story, I want you to come down here and draw me a picture of something that happened in the middle of our story just now. What happened next? Okay, so what happened next with Mikado and his friends? And again, pause me if you need more time to draw what happened in the middle, because then we're going to move down to the ending of our story. Then we went outside to look at Mikado's pictures from Japan. He had them in a green book. On the first page, we saw Mikado's old house in Japan. On the next page, we saw Mikado's family in Japan. The last page had pictures of Mikado's friends. They showed Mikado's 7th birthday party. Mikado said he wishes that we could meet his old friends. At the end of the day, Mikado's mother and father repaid us for helping with cookies. We said please and thank you and ate up. Mikado's father said he had a new job in the city. Mikado would be going to our school. We were all glad about that. We said goodbye to Mikado and his mother and father. Then we went home to our families. We were glad to have a new friend next door. Okay. So now go ahead, draw what happened at the end of your story in your last box. Okay, and also we talked about the narrator, okay? So we know Mikado wasn't it, but it has to be one of his friends. So one of the friends were the narrator of the story. They were the one that was telling the story about Mikado and his family. Okay, so that is the end of your day 3 video. Okay, you have a couple homework assignments for today. The first one you need to do is choose one of your vocabulary words from this week and write me a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star sentence. You also need to go to Think Central, find your story, Dawn's Voice, and read that to yourself. Okay, if you have not read The New Friend yet, okay, that was yesterday's assignment, but if you missed it yesterday, make sure you're reading The New Friend to yourself, okay? And then today, your assignment with that story, you need to draw me a picture of what happened at the beginning, middle, and end of our story today. And then you also have 2 worksheets that you need to get done today also, okay? All right, so good luck learning today. That was the end of your day 3 video. See you guys later.